I, what's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at XLM. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be assessing some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in a very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you bullish on price action? Does this look like support? Do you believe we're likely to rally back upward, get above, 50 cents, interact with that, 70, 80 cents that we came from not too long ago? Or are you bearish on price action? Do you believe we're at resistance? Do you think there's more downside ahead of us? We're plummeting to 25 cents, 10 cents, 0. Where do you think price action is likely to go moving forward? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Now, jumping right into it, to kind of recap, price action XLM is looking very, very sideways, stuck in this very pivotal range. We're interacting with a very crucial key level here near 24 cents. 25 cents, I do believe, is the kind of psychological, perhaps round level that we perhaps might need to see if this is support or resistance before we can determine perhaps the midterm trajectory of the trend here. We do see price action has rallied very aggressively since the kind of beginning of this year. We have price action skyrocketing from above support near 11 cents. We have rallied all the way into this critical range that we have returned to since what appears to be the 6th of January of this year. Price action breaking resistance at 24 cents, interacting with upper resistance at 38 cents, significant enough to push it back down to 25 cents as support. We had another bounce, bullish enough to break us through overhead resistance at 38 cents. And so we have multiple examples of price action kind of between sort of like January of this year up until today, making kind of like multiple sort of examples of breaking resistance and then returning to it as support. This kind of 38 cent level was critical resistance around the kind of like 6th and 7th of January. In addition to the end of January all the way to the 6th of February, we have resistance found near 38 cents, although around the 7th and 9th of February there we broke upward to interact with higher resistance near 60 cents. That was significant enough to send us back to 38 cents to interact and perhaps find support near that levels. And so price action after finding support off of very key levels after interacting with it resistance prior, we interact with higher highs, these kind of upper levels, euphoric swing highs. We were coming down, printing higher lows. Price action was looking very bullish until the very abrupt change in momentum on the 19th of May, sending price action plummeting through all this potential support that we had just broken and then confirmed as support. We plow all the way through it into these very critical levels that we haven't seen since the kind of beginning of this year. And so price action, I do believe fundamentally is still quite bullish. Price action wants to go up. We want to be in an uptrend, although I do believe technically perhaps some downside, some more sideways might be necessary for the uptrend to continue. So we have very technical high sell pressure present at the moment, sending price action plummeting toward these lower targets, like plowing through support at 38 cents. On these candles on the 21st and 22nd of June reach all the way down to like 20 cents, high 19 cents kind of thing. So that is a tad bearish looking in my opinion. Although we do have some fundamental hope due to the buy pressure still present at XLM in these levels and the potential for a perhaps double bottom bounce near kind of like 25 cents down to 20 cents there. If we print a higher low relative to this swing on the 22nd of June, we can perhaps suspect a bottom has starting to form, and we could just suspect some more upside. Although if we confirm resistance at 24 cents here, that could send price action down to a low near kind of 16 cents. And perhaps 15 cents as a more psychological kind of round level, although my support line is at kind of 16 cents there. And so price action in a very critical state at the moment against USDT. But if we consider now EngineeringRobo, along with the Illuminati, Fettuccine lines of Bugattis, we can see this new perspective come into play here. We have the Fettuccine line 0.236 Fibonacci level at 21 cents is going to be a very bullish low that we could bounce from, which would be that higher low relative to the 22nd of June there. And so that'd be a very great bullish target to interact with and get some buy pressure and perhaps suspect a more bottom forming in the kind of short term, perhaps a relief rally, some more upside. Could start to form once we do solidify support here between, I do believe, resistance found at 24 cents and 21 cents could be the range that we stay trapped in until we kind of confirm trajectory moving forward. If price action finds its way above 24 cents very quickly here, and we start to solidify that as support, we can be kind of more bullish in the perhaps short term, and I suspect some more upside. Although we do have some very significant overhead resistance ahead of us before we can get to the euphoric, 70, 80 cents that we came from not too long ago. We have that 0.382 Fibonacci level, that 32 cents, likely to send price action downward. It gets a good rejection point, good slapping area that I do believe some very high sell pressure is present around. I have my resistance level at 38 cents, which we've interacted with both as support and resistance in very most recent kind of months here. We do have the 200 daily moving average just above my resistance level near 38 cents currently, and so that will change based on how up, down, or sideways price action is over time. But I do believe there's going to be very high sell pressure along the underside of this moving average, wherever it might be, and more significant sell pressure if it is correlating with a significant horizontal level. Just above the 200 daily is the 0.5 Fibonacci level at 41 cents, going to be significant resistance. So I do believe around 38 cents to 41 cents is going to be a big zone, and that we can see price action, the trading within kind of between the end of February to the beginning of April. Realistically, that 38 cents to 41 cents is going to be a very critical area that we will likely see price action perhaps trapped in for a period of weeks moving forward. And then we have the 0.618 Fibonacci level just above my 48 cents resistance. 51 cents is going to be significant sell pressure, in addition to kind of many of these rejection points all the way up to that swing high near kind of 78 cents. And so, like I said, lots of resistance ahead of us. We're definitely looking for support. We're running out of kind of like short-term kind of bearish targets here. The more support we plow through, the longer, I do believe, the longer it might take us to get back up. And I don't think a vertical recovery is pending. I do believe we will have to plow through all this overhead resistance and then return to it as support over the kind of following days. But lots going on for XLM. Fundamentally, still quite bullish long term. Technically, very high sell pressure present. Perhaps some more downside in the short term, although a bottom is approaching at any time now. Now, a new perspective comes into play when we consider XLM against the price of Bitcoin. Price action looking a tad more bullish, in my opinion. We have a rather bullish bounce from this very key range that we see price action interacting with from the 11th of March all the way to the kind of beginning of April. There we have price action trapped between resistance found at 750 Satoshi, in addition to support above 670 Satoshi. And so more recently, since the 22nd of June of this year, we have price action wicking down into it, experiencing some price action kind of below that 750 resistance level, although we were very quickly bought up and we found our way back above this range, attempted to find support, although we were still technically bearish enough to kind of return to the underside of 750 for more days, although another bounce seems to be occurring and we have found our way back above 750. The 750 Satoshi level is going to be very crucial moving forward, a very pivotal level of potential support or resistance. This does perhaps look like very bullish support, in my opinion. If we were to hold here, I do believe we could suspect perhaps some short-term upside against the price of Bitcoin. And so price action is still looking, still have some bullish hope here, in my opinion. Though a new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibba Lamborghini lines of geometry, symmetry, and Lamborghinis again. We can see the significant range we are trapped in here. The 0.236 Fibonacci level correlating near that 670 Satoshi level of support there, suggesting more significant support down at that range if we are bearish enough to come back to it. Significant resistance present, I do believe, at the 0.382 Fibonacci level at 842 Satoshi, in addition to the underside of that 200 daily moving average, wherever that might be. Once we get back above there, we can suspect some more bullish price action against the price of Bitcoin, although we are experiencing some very high technical sell pressure, in addition to EngineeringRobo still being bearish since the 21st of May. And so lots going on for XLM against the price of Bitcoin. We are looking tad bullish, in my opinion, with this kind of like bounce forming here. More support around 750 Satoshi will kind of confirm the kind of like trajectory of the trend in the short term. Lots of overhead resistance, in addition to technical sell pressure present, causing this very crazy sideways, fundamental buy pressure and technical sell pressure conflicting. Now, price action very volatile against Bitcoin. If we consider Bitcoin, a new perspective comes into play here. We have price action interacting with the ever so critical and pivotal $32,000 level. This is going to be very crucial moving forward. This is going to be, if this is confirmed as resistance, that could slap price action all the way down to the 0.382, where we could find another kind of bounce. Failure to hold that level could send us into the teens. Once we find our way back above 32K, there's going to be very significant resistance ahead, which we've experienced at the 0.5 Fibonacci level at 34K, that tight range that we've been, consolidating down into and getting slapped around in for a period of time. This candle currently is below that 32K level, which is looking a tad bearish in my opinion if we have multiple candles opening and closing below this 32K support level. That might confirm it as resistance. Like I said, slapping price action toward the high 20Ks, which we could attempt to find support kind of again. Once we find support, perhaps at the 32K level, if we can find a way back above it, that 0.5 level is going to give us a hard time. Even once we pass that, we have the 0.618 level at 41,500 waiting to slap price action all the way back to wherever it came from. So there's lots going on in this fearful, uncertain, and doubtful market time. In crypto, we have EngineeringRobo still bearish since the 12th of May there. We have price action below the 200 daily moving average, a very high technical bearish indicator. But the fundamentals and the very high demand for Bitcoin at these levels are ever so present. And I do believe there is a strong reason to be bullish, even though this technical sell pressure is still present. And I do believe there's reason to be bullish, even if we experience more downside or sideways. Now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with a link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Let me know your thoughts in the direction of price action down in the comments. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let me know where you think it's going to go. Have you found a bottom? Is there more downside? Is 6 figures around the corner? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.